And I see that we have Dr. Channa also joined us. Thank you, Dr. Channa, for joining us. And we'll be coming to you after Ciao. Yes. So just a quick introduction of Ciao. So currently, Ciao is an ICF International Coaching Federation registered ACC level personal development coach and a mindfulness advocate. She has coached over 400 hours with over 100 people. Ciao will take us through a quick mindfulness meditation to experience it and then explain the benefits of mindfulness. Then she will also introduce what life coaching is and how life coaching can support you or help you in your life. So this is a wonderful session I was looking forward to, where Ciao will tell us some long-term solutions to our problems. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction, and feeling so humble and so blessed to be here and spending some time with you all. So can I actually just share a bit of a presentation, if that's all right? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Right. How do I share this? Click on the share, and then.
Do you want us to unmute everyone, Ciao? Do people need to speak to you now, or we can do that later in the panel?
No, that's all right. We can do it later. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Can everyone all see my screen here?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. So this mindfulness is really something I'm passionate about, and I love to talk about this in wherever I can, because there are so many misconceptions. I would like to use that word about mindfulness. Many people use it as a productivity tool or use it as a tool to reduce your stress and anxiety, which certainly it does. But if you think that's all what mindfulness does, then I would say, you are missing out a billion here. And also, meanwhile,
Ciao, sorry, before you start, can you just put on the preview, the slide preview? We are seeing the internal. Yeah, this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you. Carry on. Sorry.
Right. That's all right. And also, many people think mindfulness meditation is about sitting there, sitting straight, close your eyes, and doing like some spiritual gestures and whatever. Which also, again, that's true, but that's not all about mindfulness. And so today I'm going to take you through a little bit of different mindfulness meditation, and then later on we will deep dive into why mindfulness is important, and then how it can help you, etc. All right, actually you can, if you want to meditate, we will explain why we need to meditate later on, but now if we're just talking about the method itself, mindfulness meditation actually could happen anytime, anywhere. Like right now I'm talking to you, or when I'm drinking coffee, or when I'm waiting for traffic light. Actually, the mindfulness meditation can happen right there. And how do we do that? I'm going to use the current situation to do a mindfulness meditation together with you. So now, if you can actually just follow my little instructions just for the next 2-3 minutes, that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
I want you to just gently just be where you are at right now. And then if you're sitting, then just gently feeling what's supporting you at the moment. You might be sitting on a chair, just really feeling that whatever is supporting you, the chair, the bed, the couch, a cushion, whatever that's supporting you, just feel it for 5 seconds, let's say. Right, that was 5 seconds. And now I want you to look around your room and then just quickly find one particular objective. Could be like right in front of me, there's a lamp. And just look at the lamp for 5 seconds. Really observe it, non-judgmentally. Just look at it for 5 seconds. Or you can look at your computer screen, finding the whatever spot. Look at it for 5 seconds, okay? Let's do it together. Okay, that was 5 seconds. And now I want you to If you're having like earplugs like me, you can put it off, one of them. And then I want you to listen, just really carefully listen for whatever sound you can hear for 5 seconds. Okay, let's just listen really carefully. Not my voice, but something else around you right now. I did hear the windows cracking right next to me. Right. And now, okay, this one is a little bit tricky. You don't have to use it, but I'm going to introduce it anyway. So now I want you to just show your hands. And then now I want you to use your thumb to rub your index finger just for 5 seconds. You can do this anytime, anywhere, you know, like it's not sorry, like when I do this, it's not a spiritual gesture at all. It's just really wanting to touch your index finger. You can do it like that. You can do it like that. It doesn't really matter. Let's just do it together for 5 seconds. You can do this when you are having a corporate meeting, you know, underneath the table, you can do that. No one's going to notice that. Just 5 seconds. And really feeling the sensation. Right, that was it. That was different types of mindfulness meditation that I've just shared with you. So you can wiggle your toes. You can really sip in the coffee and really feeling that you're drinking the coffee, feeling the taste in your mouth, the warmth, the texture of that food or whatever beverage you're drinking. That's all form of mindfulness meditation. And okay, oh, oops, there's a little self-introduction here. Thanks for Gary that has just introduced me. So yes, I am a ICF registered life coach, and I was working in MIT as a, can you still hear me at the moment? Okay, cool.
Yes,
so I was a career consultant at MIT, helping the students working out the career path and stuff like that. But I also run my own coaching business, Life Potential NZ. So far, I got 500 hours of coaching hours, and then plus 1,000 meditation hours. And most of the hours, I was sitting there and, you know, closing my eyes and pretend that I was so spiritual and doing all that jazz. But later on, I realized actually that could happen anytime, anywhere. And we will talk about the benefits of that a bit more later on. And by putting all this here, it's just trying to share a little bit of my experience about mindfulness meditation as well as coaching later on. So it doesn't really mean that I'm a guru or anything like that. Not at all, not at all. So yeah, we've just been talking about what is mindfulness meditation. According to the founder of this concept, Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally, it's called mindfulness. And why is mindfulness so important, especially in today's world full of uncertainty? You don't know what's happening, what's going to happen. You know, today's topic is about helping the students on like youth migrants to cope with this uncertain COVID time, because we all know, I don't know about you, but me, certainly, I experience a lot of anxiety, uncertainty, insecurities from time to time, especially when things are kind of changing all the time. And then we tend to be so dragged by our thoughts, you know, and as also our previous speakers were talking about, there are so many factors that are affecting our daily life, our daily decisions, the circle of concern. And when we are so concerned about all those things, and then we tend to be dragged along by those thoughts, and then we can't really come back to the present moment and actually see what's really happening. Or we can't really see things as it is, as they are. And then that's going to affect us from making sometimes rushy, impatient, or some decisions out of fear rather than out of passion or out of love. And we have a brilliant tool. It's called our brain. And a lot of time, our brain, of course, it can create wonderful things. That's why we have all the inventions and all those science, physics, and we can become a coach. We can coach people. That's all really thankful to our brilliant brain. But it doesn't really help us all the time. Sometimes it also creates a lot of drama, a lot of things that's not true, and then some like really horrible scenarios, which most of the time doesn't really happen in our real life. That's what Mark Twain used to say. I have a lot of horrible things happen in my brain, which most of them did not really happen in reality. So by having that ability to become mindful, is actually having a little break from all those terrible thoughts, and those thoughts which which constantly generates anxiety and stress for us. And then it brings us back to now, like look at where I am right now, here, now. Breathe and actually relax, and understanding that, oh, okay, that was actually just kind of a dream, those horrible thoughts. And then really be able to bring us to a calmer space. And from that calmer space, only then we're able to make some rational and reasonable decisions rather than rushy and impatient and panicking decisions. And I'd like to share another little story, which just happened actually about a month ago. I was still in New Zealand, and I went to a survival training, which teaches you how to survive when you get lost in the forest, in the jungle. By the way, that could be a really good team building event if anyone's interested. And then when I went there, of course, there are a lot of tools and tips that teach you how to do this, how to set up fire, how to identify directions, all that useful tools. But the coach in that course, he said one sentence which really resonates with me. He said the most critical thing when it comes to survival, to outdoor survival, is about acceptance. What does that mean? It means you really need to accept the fact that I'm lost. So rather than keep spending time and energy, keep trying to find, I must find my car park. Oh, I think I parked it like that direction. And then you keep walking towards that direction, and then you get more lost. And then you're thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to die here. What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. So you're always in that panic mode. And then you lost the best timing for you to actually collect, for example, some wood, and then to actually stop, pause, reflect where you are at right now. Okay, what time is it now? I better collect some wood before the night comes. Otherwise, I have no fire, I have no light, and then I might not even survive tonight. Let alone thinking about what you're going to do with your wife or with your husband and your kids. So having that moment of acceptance is really the critical pivoting point. And how do we actually get to that stage of acceptance? That needs mindfulness. That needs you to become aware. Okay, this is where I am right now. So it's the same thing applying when it comes to our job hunting in this COVID time. Yes, you can worry about a million things, but you need to accept this is where I am right now. And with that acceptance, what can I do? And then all those tools and stuff came along that can really facilitate and help you. If you're always running in your head, you can't really see what's really reality happening here, right? So benefits of mindfulness, I was just talking about some of them, but I'm going to share some research have done by Harvard Mindfulness Study from American Psychological Association. And these are just some of the benefits. If you Google, you will see a lot more, right? And worth mentioning is that mindfulness is just a tool, it's just a method. what's really supporting that method is our insight, is our wisdom, right? So how do we gain wisdom and insight? For example, what our previous speaker was sharing, the tool of influence, tool of control, a circle of control and circle of influence. That's part of the wisdom. If you only know how to calm yourself down, but you don't know how to proceed, it's also not going to work. So I don't want people to think mindfulness is a tool that can resolve everything. No, it's just a method. You still need to combine it with wisdom. It's like two wings of a bird. Only with one wing, you can't really fly, all right? But only if you have knowledge, you can't turn them into wisdom, and you don't have mindfulness to calm yourself down. It's not going to work either, because you can't really get in here. Here is too busy, with all the crap. All right. Right. So life coaching. What can a life coach help you? It's really actually a difficult concept for me to explain. Like, even I've explained to my mom for about 2 years now about what I'm doing. My mom is still like, so you talk to people and make money, is that right? I was like, well, that's probably the best way you can understand. So I found some cartoons online which can briefly explain what life coach does. We teach people how to fish rather than give them fish. And the very important thing for me to say is that as a life coach, I don't give advice. Most of the time, I don't give advice at all. I ask people questions to help them generate more awareness, become more aware about what they are going through, what their barriers are, or some limiting beliefs. And then they actually, once they see that, the solutions might come out very naturally from there, right? And then the life coach sometimes challenges our clients' thoughts, like, oh, I'm waiting for lockdown level 4 to lift. And then we will say something like, oh, what if it extended? Then what are you going to do, right? So we bring the clients back to reality. Like, you got to think about things from a different perspective and be prepared. And we also kind of challenge the clients in some other way. Clients say, oh, it's impossible. I hear that many times in my coaching session. That's just so hard. That's not possible. And I usually ask them, what if you're wrong? Or, what evidence is supporting you to say that that's impossible? A lot of times just clients' limiting beliefs. By gently asking that question, sometimes it shakes their perspective. And then another cartoon was talking about, hey, I'm doing it. I'm working from anywhere I want. Actually, I picked that picture because I was like that. I was working for government and working for universities, and I thought that would be my life. I will never be able to, work and travel anywhere I want to. And that was my limiting belief. And now I'm doing it. I'm having this. I'm coaching my clients in China. It could be in New Zealand. It could be anywhere. And that took me about 2.5 years to achieve that. I've always wanted to travel and work, for a period of time in my life. And I always thought that it was impossible. I thought I was daydreaming, but with practical plans and stuff like that. And I hired a coach 3 years ago to help me to, like, little by little realizing my dream into life. And some other scenarios, like many people will say, oh, my parents, they're treating me in this way. I've got a really miserable childhood and blah, blah, blah. So they build up a lot of stories to give them excuses, like why I'm behaving in this way. Oh, I'm just like that. I'm just like this. Drop it. That's sometimes what, as a life coach, what we do is supporting the clients to see that's a story that they're building up in their head, and drop it. And then we encourage, inspire them to be who they want to be and see their strength. Everything you want is much closer than you think. You just have to be willing to get there. That's also part of our work, job. So that's a picture, showing, actually, sometimes we believe that the key is actually just within the reach of the client, not the coach holding the key, but actually the client, they have the key. It's just they need to open that and see what's already there. So we believe the clients are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole, and they are the expert of their life. We're only there to facilitate them finding out that truth. So a little bit of advertisement for myself. I do a 30 minutes free chat. If you're interested to know more, feel free to contact me. And I'm sure you probably have a lot more questions about life coaching and mindfulness, and we will go through that in the panel
Yes.
discussion later on. Right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chow. If you can stop the
Yes.
share. Wow, that was quite an eye opener. And I think it is, thank you for introducing us to this new concept. At least for me, it's a new concept. And it's actually quite a very practical way of, I think, looking at your problems. And like you very rightly said, sometimes the solution lies within us. And so the best part of what you said I liked is that you never advise. You're a life coach, but you never advise. You never give your own advice. So that's quite things which we'll definitely discuss more about. So we'll move on to our next speaker for now, and then we'll come back to you in the panel discussion. I would like to invite now our next speaker, Dr. Anil Channa. Hello, sir. Can you unmute yourself now?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, Dr. Channa. Good
Can you hear
afternoon.
me?
Thank you so much. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. I'll give a quick introduction and then we'll start with this. So, Dr. Anil Channa is a practicing psychiatrist and mental health specialist who works on family violence, elder abuse, and other mental health issues. So, Dr. Channa is a very respectable doctor, psychiatrist in our community. He does a lot of work in the community, and we are very thankful to you, sir, for taking out your precious time and sharing with us some of your experiences today. I have requested Dr. Channa to speak on general what are the issues he's seeing which have risen, especially in the post-COVID environment. What are the issues that the youth and the students are facing, and if he has any suggestions, recommendations on how we can overcome them. So over to you, Dr. Channa.
Thank you very much. Firstly, thank you very much for allowing me to be the part of this wonderful group of young people whose collective age must be that of my age now.
True that.
And
Yes.
thank you all the speakers for their whatever they have spoken, because I learned a lot from you. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Um, Very interesting concepts that Nish spoke about, and the mindfulness that Ciao spoke about. Uh, I think that we all have a world which we create. There is actually nothing like a world. Everyone's world is a different world. My world is different than your world. And how do we create that world? That world we create through our mind. I think it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day for me, maybe not for you. I wake up in the morning and I think, my God, everything is terrible. This COVID is killing me. Then the COVID is killing me. Everything is terrible. But the person in the next room thinks that it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. Let's go out for a walk, even though there is a lockdown. So it's our mind. Everything's in our mind. And when Chow was speaking about mindfulness, I remember we in our office have got a poster which says mindfulness or mindfulness. So the mindfulness is actually similar in some ways to meditation. The difference being in mindfulness, you'll start becoming mindful of what you can see around yourself, feel around yourself. And in meditation, we are taught that we should lose the sensation about the body and the sense organs completely and just go in where there is nothing. And that's so when we lose the body in the meditation, then the next biggest stumbling block is the mind. Mind, we have to fight with our mind, because the more you want to be serene and you want to be, in a meditative mode and you want to be relaxed, the more thoughts will cross your mind. Why am I not getting relaxed? Why? Oh my God, I had to go there. How much time will it take, this session? You see, all silly questions will come which were not there. But once you have crossed that, then there is an emptiness. And Ciao asked us to listen for the sound outside. In meditation, we say, now listen to the sound inside. And suddenly you will feel, once you practice meditation, that you feel you can actually hear your heart sound. And if you have done that for months and years, you go beyond the heart sound and you actually hear a buzzing sound. And that buzzing sound is the vibration, which in quantum physics, we say that every particle in this universe is in a vibration. So that's our vibration. And once we put that vibration in tune with the universal vibration, you are at peace. So that's about meditation. But now coming back to COVID, COVID has affected perhaps each and every of the 7.5 billion people in this world, maybe in different ways, but it has not left anyone unaffected. COVID itself has killed millions of people, it has displaced people, it has put stop to people's travel. So that has happened by the COVID itself. But then the lockdowns and the restrictions, that has created a lot of mental anguish. The uncertainty. By the time you thought that the COVID was over, the Delta came. By the time you thought Delta is over, the Omicron has come. And people have started losing hope. What after this?
Yes.
So then the disruption, the isolation, the uncertainty. Have you noticed how xenophobic we have become in a way? When you go to the market, if someone else is there, you walk 3 steps away from them as if they are going to touch you and you're going to die. How there was a warmth when we used to meet. There was a warmth even if you didn't know people, you went to the mall. Why do people go to the malls? Why do people go to the cinema? You could watch the movie at home, but you like that collectiveness. And now you shudder it. So xenophobia has come. And then there is a stigma for people when they start giving you the numbers that today are 56 people. There was one lady who was traveling for Northland. Now this lady is dying. That are they going to tell my name? Because then I will be castigated by everyone else without the fault of that person. Any one of us can catch. So these are the very powerful effects of COVID on our psyche. What does this do? It leads to a state of great stress. And all of us know we can deal with stress. You are going for an interview, you have a bit of a stress, you are a bit anxious. That makes you perform well, actually. Okay, you are going to speak in front of 200 people. Yes, your throat goes a bit dry. That's why they put a glass of water there, because you feel a bit anxious, but that's good. But when the mind is anxious and stressed for months and months and months, then it leads to anxiety, then it leads to depression, then it leads to loss of sleep, loss of focus, loss of concentration, irritability. What does that lead to? That leads to you isolating yourself more, or you taking help of alcohol, drugs. You become irritable, and then there is no one else that you can take it out on other than your own family. Leads to family violence. And this is what's been happening in the last couple of years, especially in the last 8 or 9 months. The cases of family violence have just jumped up. The cases of anxiety, depression, and drug and alcohol abuse have all gone nearly 150%, a huge jump. Now, there are people who are complaining that, oh my God, I'm working from home and I'm sick and tired of it. To them, I have to say, you are working. There are people who have lost jobs. So again, it's all in your mind. Be happy. Also, remember when you used to go to work, every day in the evening you used to moan for 15 minutes about the traffic and how terrible it is. Okay, we have taken that away from you. So be happy in that circumstance. But it has affected people who are working from home. They are feeling quite stressed. Now, looking at the computer screen the whole day, sitting at home. Now, imagine a husband and a wife or two partners working from home and a 3-year and a 5-year-old child making noise in the background. And you have to tell your children, go to the other room or shut up. How does that affect a 5-year-old child? Nobody is thinking about that. We are all busy thinking about the adults. Those children feel that our parents don't love us anymore. They want to shunt us. You see, they are already not going to their child care center or the school. They have lost contact with their friends. Parents are busy and push them to another room. It's very adversely affecting, and we are seeing abnormal child behaviors these days. Children just shouting and crying without any reason because they want attention, actually. So these are the things that are happening. Then we have got elderly people at home who are completely isolated. Some of them have got children in other countries, and they would have wanted to go and travel and meet their children, see their grandchildren. It's not happening. So they are affected. So basically, it has affected a lot of people. It has specifically affected the medical workforce. I have been working throughout this lockdowns and before. And sometimes I have to go and see patients in those motels where the emergency accommodations have been given to people. And we have to wear the full PPE. People are not vaccinated. Then you go there and you look around and it's so scary. And when you are doing that every day, you feel, my God, am I going to bring the virus into my house, into my family, and put everyone else at risk? So that's a huge risk for the workers. Then there are another group of people who are terribly affected by the COVID, and those are the people who have other illnesses. Somebody is having chemotherapy, and he's being told that, sorry, your next 2 sessions of chemotherapy have been postponed by 6 weeks. For a patient suffering from cancer, a 6 weeks postponement in his chemotherapy could be life and death matter. Somebody has to have a surgery, elective surgery, having severe arthritis, can't walk, is told that because of the COVID, your surgery is postponed by 6 months. So it's just, I'm giving you an insight into how the COVID has affected different people differently. But having said all that, all I have to say is we have to be positive. We were talking about being positive. Every speaker said about being positive. But how do you be positive in a very, very negative environment? And I say, remember one thing. Nothing is permanent in this world. Nothing. Howsoever long it may be, it's never permanent. World is always changing. If the good times have not stayed on, the bad times shall also pass. That's what brings hope, that nothing is permanent, everything is temporary. This is also temporary. I remember in 1980s, when first cases of HIV were detected in Africa, the whole world was so scared that AIDS, don't go into a colony where there's one patient of AIDS because you will die. Today, It's like flu. So SARS came, and we had that H1N1 flu. Things have happened, things have gone, this will also go. So we need to be positive. We need to keep a routine even if we are housebound. Don't just get up in the morning, oh, I'm not going to office, I'm working from home, so I don't need to have a shower. I can just comb my hair and just only put a nice shirt because nobody is going to see my PJs. You can still get up in the morning, have your shower, have your breakfast, have your meetings, have your lunch, go for a short walk. Please have a routine that normalizes your life. Okay? Follow your hobby. Nobody has stopped you from having hobbies. And Netflix is not a hobby. We have all now, just because there's nothing else to do, just sit in front of the TV. It's either Amazon or Netflix. And you keep on switching between one and the other. Go out, do things with others, do things with your family. Exercise, very, very important. We all know that when we exercise, we produce endorphins, which keep your mental health in a good state. So please go for walks, go for some sort of an exercise. If you got a treadmill in your house, go on to that. However, most important thing in COVID times to keep your mental health well is communication. So it's communication, communication, communication. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. It may be a video call, it may be an audio call. Keep in touch. And if you are feeling down, if you are not feeling well, talk to people. Talk to your GP. Give them a ring. Talk to them. Okay? Have a break from the social media, please. I know people these days have the phone in the hand so they can always watch what's happening, what's happening. You can watch the WhatsApp messages where there are jokes, that's good. But other than that, give yourself a break from the social media because sometimes the social media creates more scare than actually there is. And I would also say that keep away from that 1 o'clock announcements.
Announcements. Yeah.
They always
Yeah.
depress you. They always
Yeah.
depress you. Look
Yes.
at other countries which are doing so bad at the moment. So think that how lucky we are. We are alive. We are still able to do what we are doing.
Yes.
And so
Uh,
by remaining positive, we can be overcome this.
good. So, Dr. Channa, yeah, I think your time's up also. So, I think any other points you would like to say before we start the panel discussion?
No, that's all I want to say.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you so much, sir. I think these are very valuable thoughts, and I like the, some of the tips you've given us to survive this,